From @music120 on Twitter, favorite Phil Hartman memory from SNL.
It means like during a sketch?
Here, I'll give you one while you think. Phil told me once, he called me into his office with Lovitz, and he said, watch this. Remember they did Teeny Cafe? Do you remember that sketch?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's only like 5 people
Right.
in the thing, and Phil played Halston. And Lovitz would sing or
Right,
the
right.
piano, and it
Right.
was like it was all built on it being claustrophobic.
Right.
And Phil said, "Watch this, watch this." And Phil never bragged about anything, but he's Halston, and he's leaning in, and Lovitz is 4 inches away playing, and he's doing "Send in the Clowns" by Sondheim, and he gets to the second verse, he goes, "Isn't it gay?" And Phil goes like. Just a little look like...
That's all he needed to do. He could do so little and convey so much.
And Phil said, that's it right there. I said, Phil, I can't believe all the great things you do. He said, no, it's just enough. And I thought that was cool. He was a perfectionist. Remember his little binder he'd ever
Oh my
remade?
God, no, he was so organized and he took it so seriously and he knew his lines and he worked on it and he would take the hosts aside and explain to them how everything worked. Like he was so dear. I miss him so much.
Yeah, he's a lovely cat and a genius. But maybe your favorite memory isn't at SNL because it's such a place. Maybe
yes.
beforehand.
Beforehand, when we became friends and we were just hanging out, it wasn't romantic, it was just friends, but it was great. And there was one night where he put me on his motorcycle and we went on Mulholland, and it was like the sun was setting and we were on Mulholland on a motorcycle. And we were laughing about something, and it was just, there's so many of those. I have 100 of those.
That's a cool one.
But and also because I didn't know him then, and when I look back on it, it's like my present affects the memory because I didn't know then that he was going to be so important to me, and that I would love him so much, and that it would be such a great tragedy, his end. You know, like I didn't know all that, and when I think of that, anyway.
A lovely guy. I loved him, and I miss him. And he was probably the nicest genius I ever met in my life.
That's true.
@Mary Bronner's on Twitter. Well, I think we might have talked about this. Sorry. Sometimes you don't see the question until you read it. When do you first hatch Pat? Is it based on somebody? Or?
It is. Well, it's based on a couple of people. I was actually trying to be a guy, and I wasn't successful at it. And I thought, well, I'll just throw in a joke where you don't know if it's a man or woman to cover for my lack of acting ability. And then that got a huge laugh, and then it became the androgynous thing.
That's cool.
So it was an accountant that I worked with and another guy that I worked with who... And then there's a little bit of this other one, because I was an accountant before I became an actress for 6 years at Columbia Pictures. Yes. And so I was around a lot of accountants that can be wonderful, and I still have friends from that era, but also can be odd.
Lovitz and Phil used to do that thing where they would play the two guys like old moguls from Columbia Pictures.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And,
they were so good. Yeah.
And now, tell me the truth. You're horrible. You stink. You're never going to work again. Don't sugarcoat it.
Right, exactly.
And then Victoria would come in and sing, and
I know.
she'd say, what do you think? And Phil would say, you couldn't sing if you had Billie Holiday stuck in your throat. Love that.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe to Larry King Now and watch new episodes every day.